Every month, I review the previous month to set goals and action items for the following month. And in this video, I'm going to do it with you, sharing everything about my brand, the ups and downs, and we will find out that I probably need to take some drastic measures regarding one of my products. As a quick intro, like this is the brand we're going to review today. It's my brand. It's called Eggboards. These are my products, but the main ones that I'll show you before we dive into the data are a mini longboard skateboard that I designed. I have a couple of variations. I may have more coming up, but this is the product, and this is pulling most of the sales. The other one is an accessory, are skateboard lights. There are lights that easily mount on any skateboard. And also for this one, I have a couple of variations. As you can see, there's a promotion going on, and we'll find out more during this video. So here, you can see my Notion where basically everything happens around my brands. There's two main things, there's tasks and there's notes. Tasks are activities and things that need to be done, and most of these ones are taken care by my virtual assistant. As you can see, they're also split by Eggboards, which is the brand which we're gonna review today, and Third Wheel, which is my other new brand, smaller, which we will review another time. Each of these tasks involves updating a report or doing some actions. For example, replying to customers on Amazon, which is a daily task because there's a deadline. We need to reply within a certain number of hours, and my virtual assistant does it. The only task that I do myself is this one, is a monthly review of the main performance of my brand. And we're gonna do it now with you. I'm gonna open it on a new page. And the other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open a new note that is gonna be called Eggboards January 25 review. And I'm gonna open this one also on a new page. In the task, the monthly review, I have some to-dos and some resources that are replicated every time. And I'm gonna add them directly, we don't need this, to this. Okay, so we'll start by the overall sales and tacos reviews. I'm gonna create a little title for that. And I'm gonna open the spreadsheet where we can find this information. Now, I have a whole video about this spreadsheet, how it works, what is the tacos, and why you should monitor it. It's on my channel. You can find it in the description, and you can download this spreadsheet for free as well. Now I'm gonna go through it real quickly. This is the monthly total advertising cost of sales, otherwise known as tacos. As you can see, I have two main charts and a table. Now, chart number one, the bars are my total sales. So this represents how much we sold for this brand overall, all the products in each month. The second indicator, this line, is the tacos. So it's the cost of all our advertising efforts as a percentage of our total sales. So if this is 2,750 and this is 12%, it means that we spent 12% of this number in advertising across our brand. The second chart is the split between how many sales came from organic sales, so someone finding us organically on Amazon, and how many of those are instead directly attributed to advertising. And this is also important to understand where our sales are coming from and where we should focus. Generally, I aim to have this around 50%. As you can see, like it goes around that line. But now we'll see something a little more detailed. So first informational look is how much did we sell? And how much did we sell compared to 12 months ago? So we did better because last year in January we only sold $1,000, and now we sold almost $3,000, so which is a great increase. The tacos also was much higher 1 year ago, 26%, and now it's 12%, which is also great. This is also great because I have a target tacos, which is how much I plan to spend throughout my year in advertising. So if I spend more than this, my net profit at the end of the year is going to be less. If you spend less than this, yes, I'm going to have a higher net profit, but the more I spend in advertising, the more I have a chance to grow my brand and grow the overall business. So this is my target, and this shows if each month, if we hit our target or not. In this case, we did hit it in January. Again, this is overall for all my products. Now we can look more in detail about the two main product families that I showed you earlier. So let's start with my skateboards. Situation, as you can see, is a little different. So total sales are 2,000 and they're vastly increased from the ones we had 1 year ago. The tacos is much lower, it's 6%. It's like less than half of what it should be, which is good on one end, which is because it means that I'm spending less and I'm going to take home more profit for this product this month. On the other hand, it also tells me that I could push a little more. So before I keep on going with this analysis, I want actually to show you how I save all this for future reference. I take a big screenshot of this. This is still the overall data. I go back to my note and I paste it here. And then small notes on the side of it. This helps me, actually we can make this a little larger. There we go. This helps me so the next time I can just go in and brush through it. So this means that I could potentially push more on advertising since my total advertising cost of sales is a little less than the target. And because most of my sales in January came from organic while I try to get, half and half. Now back to what we were doing, which I don't know if I can find. There we go, it's here. We were analyzing more specifically my skateboards. We'll do the same. Take a screenshot. Future reference. We paste it here. The second thing that we can see is that sales are 2,000 versus less than 1,000 last year. So sales are about 12 last year. Good. The fact that this is 6% and the total that we found for my overall brand is 12% hints at an important information that if I go to the lights, the situation is not that good. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and then we're gonna comment briefly on what this means. By the way, I'm doing this live also to show you that it doesn't take much time to do it, especially if you have the right tools that give you immediately the information that you're looking for. So in terms of business, the lights sold more than last year, like much more, but the tacos, it's much higher. It's actually the highest it's ever been, which is not great at all. So then what else? The split between organic and ad sales is actually okay. We have actually 60% of sales coming from ads, which is fine. So I wouldn't see this as a problem. The trend is the problem. The problem is since October, actually November was also okay, but we did not recover from a very high advertising spend in December. We actually kept on spending more. And this is good to keep in mind. Before I take, final considerations, I'm taking these notes and then I'm going to review everything. But I know that basically, if you look at my overall business, we're doing okay. But this okay is the sum of two things. Most of my business, 2,000 out of 2,700, comes from my skateboards. They're doing really well, and I could push more on advertising for those because I could spend a little more and maybe increase even more the volume of sales that they bring. While the lights, I'm spending on advertising. They account only for like 30% overall of my business or even less. But their cost of advertising is much higher, and this is cutting my profits. I'm probably losing money on these ones, and we're gonna see more information about this later. A little deeper dive on this can be to go into the weekly tacos, where I see a picture that is not great. Like this is overall all my products. This is the January. We started decently, but then we kept on increasing, and now we have 20% tacos in the last week of January, which is alarming. Again, if we go for the skateboards, yes, we increased, but we are still within the limits that are set for myself. If we look at the lights, the situation is disastrous. Like it's 30, 20, and even what is this? 20, 48%? 48% tacos. So something needs to be done to lower this number, either by increasing the sales, which are really low, only $75 in the last week, which is unseen, and or lowering the advertising spend just to begin with. And this is all for tacos. I can probably add this screenshot as well, and that's it. Next, we're gonna go and look at the organic sales. So we go down from this one and we're going to review the organic sales. The organic sales, I have a different spreadsheet to track those, which is this one. I haven't made yet a video on this, and you cannot yet download it, but I plan to do it to prepare it for being customized with your products so that you can also use it the same way I do. So a lot of things over here, but here overall we can select my products. Instead of having them by parent ASIN, I have it by individual ASIN, but this is basically representative of the skateboards, and then the lights, I'll show you the same thing. We have one bar for each month, and in this chart, each bar is how many impressions we got from organic search. So while the other one was more leaning towards how's the advertising performing compared to the total sales, this one is showing how are we ranking on Amazon, what organic traffic and organic sales are we getting on Amazon compared to the competition, compared to the market. This is data that Amazon gives you. So it's not estimated, it's not Helium 10 or Jungle Scout, this is actually real data from Amazon. So there's no guessing over here. So we have impressions here and click-through rate. So the click-through rate for my skateboards in January, for example, have been 2.94%, which is okay. This dotted line over here is the average click-through rate of the market for the keywords my product is indexing for. And you'll see better in the bottom part of this chart. Similar aggregated information is here. So we see impressions, we see clicks, we see purchases for the market overall and for my product. The one I selected, the ASIN in this case is the Eggboard Street Red. And then by percentage, I know how much percentage of the market I own in terms of impressions, in terms of clicks, and in terms of purchases. Second chart is related to purchases. So we have page visits, which are the bars, and conversion rates. So what percentage of this traffic became an order? And again, over here, we can compare with the dotted line, which is the market. Here, we can see how many keywords this report from Amazon pulled out, so how many we can index for, and it caps at 100. So we're indexing for the most amount of keywords we can, and how much volume of search these keywords had. And this below is actually the list of all the keywords with all the orders we got from there. So you can order them, you see where the orders are coming from, and so on. Now, back to the overall performance, what I can see is basically that I have a better click-through rate than the market overall, and it's pretty stable. Like in December, my click-through rate was dipped a little bit compared to the market, which stayed stable, but now much higher. I'm having way less impressions, and this is because there's less traffic in January than in December. The market is going to pick up again. It's fine. Regarding conversion instead, the opposite is happening. Like I'm always worse than the market. I convert less than the market for my skateboards, which can be an information that leads to some action items. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Now, what this spreadsheet, actually this is not overall, this was a mistake because here we just go by product. So this is for what concerns the skateboards. What we can do in this, and you can see it here, we can filter by keyword. So we can have this statistics specific for a keyword or a keyword family. So for example, one thing I always do is see how I'm performing for branded keywords. So any keyword that includes egg, which for a skateboard is most likely me. How am I doing in that regard? Well, I own almost 50% of the market, which means that maybe I could do better because there's copycats on Amazon with my product. There always are. But maybe I could aim to have like a 60% of the market if I do something better. I generally convert much, much better than the market. That you can see it from this chart too, like almost 10 times better. Into traffic. Sorry, the click-through rate is much better, but the conversion is not as much. Why is this? Because my product is $99, while these copycats are less expensive. They're cheaper because they're made with cheaper materials. While we make our boards with bamboo, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes into this, but we have a more premium product, so it's expected that we don't convert as well as others. However, for branded keywords, I would hope to convert a little better, and this reflects what we have seen before, that overall we convert less than the market. Now, the last thing is, while we own 50% of the purchases in this market, we only get 5% of the impressions, which means that we should show up more. And this confirms what we found in the Tacos report, that we're not pushing enough on advertising to boost our ranking and get noticed organically by people searching for egg skateboards and all these keywords that are listed over here, right? All these ones, this is basically all us. Eggboards, egg skateboard, egg shape, skateboard. This is all my product. For these searches, the volume is not, huge. Well, I show up only a little bit. Like, I don't show up too much on these ones. And so this is something I can try to fix with some efforts. So now, the other thing we can look at is my other product. The main source of sales for the lights is this one, egg lights, white, red. So the situation here, it is actually different, because as you can see, I both have a click-through rate higher than the market, and I have a conversion that is consistently higher than the market. Conversion is about 3 times what's the market size, and click-through rates is similar. What does this mean for me? It means that I'm actually converting well for this product, probably because, if you noticed before, there was a promotion going on. I reduced the price of this product a lot. Like, even this variation is like 30% discount from what it should be the full price of this. So this is working. People are buying it more. At the same time, if you remember, the advertising is not performing well, and a lot of sales are coming from ads and not so many from organic sales. So something is not working as it should on these slides. If I search for the light keyword, like, I have a very good conversion and a decent click-through rate. At the same time, it seems that this is for a very small volume. Like, this peak in October, I think is because at some point we rank for a very big keyword that is more generic. I'm looking for it now. Yeah, this light. So yes, we ranked for light, but light is everything, including, table lights. And so this just skewed all the data. But generally, like, we're ranking and converting well for small keywords, but we're not really getting much impressions. Like, in terms of the market, we're getting a very small percentage of the market. If we look at the past 3 months, our click-through rate is not that great, and we have only 5% of the market, 2% of the impressions, with spending a lot on advertising. So this means for me that, first of all, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. So out of this one, I can look for what are the best keywords also, in case maybe I'm focusing on the wrong ones. But skateboard lights, skateboard light, longboard lights seem to be the best keyword. For each one, I can see if my click-through rate and conversion rates are better or not than the market. For example, for skateboard light, singular, it seems that my click-through rate is less than the market, while for the plural, it's more than the market. These are also small numbers, 7 orders, 3 orders. So if you look at this maybe on a longer time frame, in like 1 year, maybe you get something a little more reliable, and you see that most of the time my click-through rate is lower, which means probably that my hero image is not that good. And so this can be checked. All right. Next, so the last thing I check, not because it's less important, is my profit and loss. This is because it ties everything together of what we have seen so far. So in order to do it, since I have multiple brands running under the same company, I know it's not advised, but I found my system to do it reliably. I go to QuickBooks, I download my profit and loss. I have a spreadsheet that I use for categorizing basically my business. There's an area here where I can paste the export from QuickBooks, which is this one. So I'm gonna copy all this, paste it here. And now I have a tab for each one of my main business lines. Today we're going to look at Eggboards. So Eggboards for January 2025, this is what it looks like. First of all, it at the end of the day, we made $100 out of an income total, including refunds and everything else, about 2,500. It's a 6% net profit, which is not that good. So we can actually tag this as red, not happy. What we can do is dig a little deeper into this and make it bigger. You see other numbers over here because I have a budget that I compare to. For example, I aim to hit $3,000 of income every month. January is a slow month, so it is understandable that we made less than this, but this is why it shows then red or blue based if I hit it or not. Back to this, what is interesting is that I break it down by product. So Eggboards made this, and 73% of my income came from my boards, my skateboards, and 27% came from my lights. But we have seen before that skateboards and lights are doing very different things based on tacos and organic search. In fact, D2C is basically sales coming directly from my Shopify website, which I do not promote actually from Shopify. I try to send people directly to Amazon as much as possible so that I simplify my logistics. And at the same time, I use Amazon brand referral to lower the Amazon fees in that case. Anyway, going down, we can see that we have Eggboards cost of goods, FBA fees, and selling fees. Now, selling fee is the least important. In fact, it's 15% for everybody, most of the products, which is what it is and which is what we expect. In terms of cost of goods, I'm overall paying 28% of my total revenue in cost of goods, while 25% is from my boards, which is decent. It's a quarter. It's not great, but it's okay. The lights instead have a much higher cost of goods. Why is that? Because I'm selling them at a discount right now. And the second important fact is that while my boards have a 13% impact of FBA fees, my lights have like triple that amount. Again, why is that? Because the FBA fee for delivering the product is fixed, while the price of my lights has been lowered. This is because I was trying to get more volume of people buying my lights because I have extra inventory. That's a different topic. But the result of this is that the gross profit for my boards is around 50%, which is okay. Like 50% for gross profit is something that I try to get as a goal. For my lights, it's only 5%, and we still haven't accounted for the cost of advertising, which is here. So this Eggboards Amazon advertising, it is the tacos. And before we saw the tacos was 12%. This is higher because here we're not considering all the sales, but we are considering the sales minus the discounts, the refunds. So this number is a little lower than the total sales, and therefore this goes up a couple of percentage points, but it's close to what we saw in the tacos report. And so you can remember that in the tacos report, this 12% that was the tacos report was a very low number for the skateboards and a very high number for the lights. The lights already have only 5% gross profit. So this means that I'm basically losing money on the lights as a business line because my advertising cost is higher than the gross profit before spending for ads. The other numbers are okay. And yes, and the final result is a very low net operating income because also these are mostly fixed costs. This is warehouse, softwares that I use and things like that. So once the volume goes up again, that will improve. At the same time, this calls for an action on my skateboard lights to do something. There you go. To do something to make them profitable or to get rid of them. Honestly, like this, that I can just get rid of it. Yes, my revenue will lower, but overall my profit will increase. Okay, last step, action items for the month. I'm gonna add this at the top and I'm gonna make it a to-do list, and then we're gonna go through the notes we have taken so far, and From those, we're gonna decide what we're gonna do about it. This is what I plan to do next month. For my skateboards, I will increase bids and budget for the advertising. Let's say ads, bids, and budget. Why? Because my current tacos is 6%, which is low, and I can instead push more to gain higher rankings. In particular, I want to do it on the branded keywords. Why? Because I only own 5% of the impressions for those keywords organically, and I want to have my ranking higher so I show up more. I also want to increase the conversion rate, which is lower than the market, and I will try to find ways to do it, improving the detail images of my listing and running an A/B test, and review the other content like the A+ content that I have on the page. Now, the lights are the main topic here because they are losing me money every month. So the actions that we're going to take are the following. We're going to reduce the ad spend on the light to reduce the tacos from 26% to a lower value to start. We're going to try and increase the click-through rate by A/B testing the hero image, even if this is not a main priority. But the main priority is this. We're going to increase the price to take the gross profit closer to 30% and see if this stands. Because if this doesn't work, if increasing the price, my sales tank completely, then I will have to decide if I keep this product or if I dispose of the inventory that I have available and start over with a different product, maybe in the same category, maybe not. That's the end of it. I also just realized that I had this glittering crystals reflections all over me. I hope you enjoy them as I was showing you my spreadsheets and my review of my business. I wanted to show you this, first of all, to take you along the journey. Like you'll see this brand evolving throughout this year, hopefully growing for the better. But you see also that some things are not working. Like my skateboard lights are not working. Like, and if I didn't dig enough in the data, it looked like they were selling. It looked like they were converting well and stuff like that. Maybe other tools will show you like some good stats about it. But if you actually look at the data from the right point of view, you'll find out that some things are not working, and you'll see next what's going to happen. I don't know yet, but we know what we're going to do to fix it. One additional note is that all the tools that you have seen that I use are spreadsheets and tools that I developed for myself to run my business, like and do a review of a month of business in 30 minutes or less of what we did today. And you can also get them all for free from my website, and the link should be in the description. If you have any questions, comments, or you have ideas of things that I should cover in the reviews of my business, please let me know. Drop a comment, send me an email, stay in touch. I reply to everything. Thanks for tuning in, and to the next one.